Alright, and we're back. So we have two choices here. We can go to Pumpkin Gorge or the Asylum Grounds. Go to Pumpkin Gorge first. It's much easier. So, oh man, this looks like swollen dog assholes. That's not cool. So, the broadsword is very useful for this level in particular because we really can make use out of it. So, straight away, this level is going to rip your fucking health apart real fast. So go in here and take the Moon Rune. Now don't be like Josh Strife and be a fucking idiot and use the club on those enemies. It's not worth it. This is not a good arc for the Pumpkin Boys. But this is where we find our chalice, so we're going to have to come back here much later in the level. These regular pumpkins that are moving around, they don't give you any souls, but they can knock off your health if they hit you. So just swing your fucking sword like crazy because, trust me, it's worth it. Now, you're probably like, Seth, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you being so stupid for here? Oh, trust me, I don't appreciate your rudeness, but we're gonna need to go back no matter what. But some berries in the game actually will do special things. Like in this situation, this is, if we go all the way back here, and we turn around, we can spawn in not only more pumpkins, but we also spawn in, oh my god. And by the way, I'm just dashing through this. We spawn in more of these boys. So do not let these things get in front of you, because if they do a really strong attack. And that's just the most bullshit ever. Just sidestep around them and hit them on the way around. And you can hit multiple ones at once. Which is why Josh Strife is a fucking idiot. And if you don't think this, right here, this strategy that I'm doing is not as good as like just going like this, I don't know what to tell you. That's all I can say. So go in this chicken coop right here, and we get some health and a shitload of money. So, bing, bang, boom, and it spawns in these guys too. So, some levels you do need to go in certain orders to get the enemies to spawn. The lake is probably the worst level about that, by the way. I'm not even kidding. That shit is sadistic. And like I said, you can use the club if you want on those guys, but you'll look really stupid. So just go backwards in here, and this is how we open up this little doodad. It's hard to tell, but you are actually going up. It's just the way the game looks, because of all this weird Z buffering. I'm going to include this level and the boss fight in this one video, because this is actually a pretty short section here, especially the boss fight. So this level is pretty fun. I do like it. Aesthetically, it's really cool looking to me because it's just a giant fucking pumpkin patch. It's so cute. It's so... oh, it's so good. Now, you're probably wondering, what's my opinion on Nightmare Before Christmas as a fucking seasoned goth expert, okay? I'm not really a huge fan of that movie. I know that's probably heresy, right? It's like the live, laugh, love of goths, but I just never really liked it that much. I think it markets well, and that's why people like it. They don't actually like the movie. I've only seen it maybe 3 times, and each time I've watched it, I just walk away going, I don't get why people like this movie so much. And I'm not stupid. I know it's like, you know, impressive how it was made, and it looks cool. I'm not that stupid. I just don't really like it that much. But then again, I don't like musicals, which is probably weird, because you're like, wait a minute, aren't you a musician? Yeah, but I don't like musicals, because musicals are weird. The only musical I've ever liked is probably... you know, I don't know. I don't like any musical off the top of my head I can think of. I hate Grease, I hate... I just don't like them. I don't like musicals at all. I don't think it translates very good as film. It's not the same as music on its own. It always feels really cringy and awkward to me. I don't know. If you like musicals, that's cool. I had an ex who tried to get me into watching Repo, and I thought it was kind of a goth fever dream. It wasn't terrible from what I remember, but I just was like, okay. And then I watched Hairspray and was like, this is the most ham-fisted movie ever. but I just was like, okay, be the fat quirky girl, be you, okay. And then I've watched Sweeney Todd, and I was like, this isn't my thing either. Johnny Depp is not a good singer, nor is he that good of an actor, to be honest. So this part right here, we need to actually schwack these vines to let the pumpkin stock thing lower the key. You know, I was thinking about it too when I was playing through this. I'm like, what would these runes be in RuneScape? And I thought about it. I'm like, you know, Time Rune would basically be Law Runes, right? Does that sound about right to you? Because Law Rune makes sense to me. I mean, I don't know. I always hate how these enemies flash. It makes me think they're gonna fucking explode every time I see that. Flashing enemy to me means explosive. That's just my opinion, though. So, oh no, not these chicken nuggets. That's not good. So, you can also, like I said, replay levels if you really want to be a fucking idiot. But you can see what I mean. This is how Josh was playing. He's like, oh, fucking, this is the best strategy in the game. Because he's fucking stupid. Use the broadsword. Be a smart person and not an idiot. That's all I can tell you. You will thank me 150 times later. If you're not going for chalices, I don't know why you would. Because the chalices make this game not only a lot more fleshed out, but they actually make the game more fun, in my opinion, because there really isn't a whole lot to do in the game after a while, because, let's be real, oh shit, that was a dumb move. Games back in the day really didn't have a lot to go for after you finished them, so not getting 100% was basically just doing the game a disservice in my mind. That's why most games of this era usually just had like time trials or what was the other one they used to do? There was sometimes like an arcade mode or something like that in the game where the game would just like have a scoring system and a live system and it would be really fast. I don't know, I guess you could say something like Code Veronica X's battle mode, I guess. I think the older Resident Evils used to have that, but I've never actually like played them that much, so I don't really have an opinion or much knowledge on that. But yeah, games like this didn't have time trials. It was just a game that was a product of love, you know. They just said, alright, play the game, and that was it. There wasn't any achievements, there was no bullshit, you just played the game and had fun. You picked it up, you put it down, you maybe played it a couple more times, and then you just said, yep, that was a good time. And that's honestly what I kind of miss. I don't think a game like this needs to be an open world RPG, you know, with like bullshit mechanics. From what I understand, all the remakes of this game just didn't do well, and I can tell you why, because the game didn't need to be remade, it just needed to be reported. And I think, I don't even know if the sequel was required, honestly. I think the ending of this game is really good. It's a standalone game. So, that's just my opinion, though. Your mileage may vary, personally, but that's just me. I sometimes think sometimes a game is just good on its own. Because, I don't know, did like fucking Blood really need a sequel? It's bad, but did it really need a sequel? No, it didn't need one. I think this is where we get... I can't remember what.
Gaining allies in the Hall of the Heroes is the way forward. Hack, choppity chop. Off with a few zombies' heads, and it thinks it can redeem itself in battle. You still have a long way to go to rank as the best.
Fuck you, man. I am the best. I'm Daniel fucking Fortescue, okay? I am the best there ever was. I think this is just gold, pretty sure.
By God, Fortescue, you must be the luckiest corpse ever to walk the face of the earth. I have something here I can lend to you. Take it or leave it, but remember, I'm only doing this for the sake of Gallomir's doomed population, and not for you, you gangly buffoon!
I'm getting good at calling this shit, because I really don't remember the rewards very well. So, that's probably as much gold as I'm going to actually need for the entire game, if I'm honest, but of course I'll still pick gold up the entire time I'm playing. So, yeah, you can probably notice the pattern here. Weapon upgrade, and then like another goodie or two, and then you keep going. Like I said, Raven Hooves is the only one that gives you more. But we'll save the game, and we'll include this level too, because this is a very short level. Because it is like a less than 5-minute boss fight. So we're gonna go summon Pumpkin, the King of Serpents. Or sorry, Pumpkin, the King of Pumpkins. He's the best Yu-Gi-Oh card ever that was released in Pharaoh's Servant. It really wasn't. Man, back when fucking Yu-Gi-Oh zombie cards were actually kind of new, that was a good feeling. Everyone wanted to make a zombie deck back in the day. They really did. So, first things first, this is important. See this area over here? Go up to this cauldron and put in the pentacle. Trust me, do this now.
Greetings, kind sir. I am the Pumpkin Witch. I'm like a mother to those pumpkins. I give them all the love and care a young fruit could ever ask for. From the moment they first push a shoot above the soil, right up until their heads are cut off and eaten. And look, see how they repay me, running around and causing mischief. That nasty old big pumpkin has a bad influence on the young seedlings. If you teach him a lesson in manners, I might give you a nice present.
And yep, that is actually required, if you're curious. So, there's a part of the game where you need these specific items, and if you don't, the game is just like, okay, do you have it? No? Okay, then that sucks to be you. You can go through this way like a bitch, and I'm not entirely sure how to proceed without them, because I never have not 100% of the game. Just be smart and, you know, get the damn item. So, I know that didn't break yet, I'm just gonna get the health while I can, but you can see that the big pumpkin she's talking about is actually sucking the life out of the area, which is why the fish are dying right here too. This game has a lot of cool shit in the background if you're paying attention to it, I have to mention. This was really a game that, I swear, was made out of passion. It wasn't just, oh, we want to make the money. Obviously, that's the intention with a lot of things, but, you know, the developers really had a lot of care and love put into this game, and it really fucking shows. I'm not saying games aren't made that way these days, but back before everybody was, I'm a quirky video game girl, game projects were just love. They really were. And not everybody played them, so if you found something like this, it was just a cool thing, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, Spyro the Dragon is a fantastic example of, it's not a very astounding game, but you can tell it's a game made with a lot of love in it, and it really just shows in the way the game feels. And I love that. That's how you can always tell a game is good, is you can feel that the developers had a lot of fun making it. So, alright, we have enough crossbow bolts for the boss fight, so this should be pretty easy. And we gotta actually kill the boss to proceed to the end of the level, too, if we want to do that. This is actually technically an optional area, but trust me, just do it. I summon Pumpkin, King of Ghosts! And then I summon Crossbow in fuck you position. So, this is the easy way to kill this boss. Just lock on, make sure you're looking at it with the camera, and just spam X. And then you can just dodge the little pumpkins it shits out, and it's very, very easy. You should be able to just do what I'm doing right now, and this is not that hard. And by the way, it looks more and more like a canned cheeseburger as the fight goes on. I quite like that. There's a lot of little things this game does that are really cute like that. And then it jizzes everywhere, and that's that. And I love this little tiny attention to detail. The earth gets beautiful again because we killed the big nasty pumpkin bitch. So, isn't that cool? This game has so much badass shit to it. But even though the pumpkin's dead, we still have to kill these little scrublings, otherwise you can go and exit the level like an idiot. But if you do, you've got to fight that thing again, and then you can... Yeah, it's just... don't do it. I did that the first time on the test playthrough, the first one. Not a fun experience. These guys aren't infinitely respawning, by the way. There's only a set number of them in here. The chalice is actually at the beginning of the level, where that little well was at. But we couldn't get to it anyways because it was actually being choked off by the pumpkin's vines. So, do I need anything in particular? I'm trying to think. We can enchant the sword, but that's a waste of time. I don't think I really need to enchant the crossbow, or not enchant, but I don't think I need any more crossbow bolts for the rest of the game, honestly. But I'll worry about that bridge when we cross it, right? Right. So go ahead and go back over here.
A most edifying spectacle, sir. Man and vegetable in a magnificent duel to the death. Oh, I've come over all of a doodah. Here, have this lovely dragon gem as your reward. Oh, lovely, majestic creatures dragons are.
So, bam! She gives us this dragon gem. There's 2 of these in the entire game, and they are required to finish the game. Like I said, we're getting 100%, so we're going to get them no matter what. I still have no idea how you're supposed to finish the game without them properly, because on one of the later levels, there's a part where you need the dragon armor, I think. But, I don't know. I don't remember what the next upgrade is. It's... I want to say it's the spears, am I right? I might be wrong. No, I'm right for once.
Dan. Tell me, what's a warrior queen gotta do to meet someone like you? Don't be shy, baby. I've seen you giving me the eye. You may be weak and feeble like old men, but I like you, Daniel. Oh, I love a man who doesn't talk back. I think if you return, I may take you for my husband. Now listen up, sugar. Your bow and arrows are fine for itty-bitty jobs, but if you want to pack some serious heat, you should take this spear.
Think of me when you throw it. This is one of the best weapons in the game, by the way. This is like the end of the game we're gonna use that shit. It's so good. But trust me, those do not waste on everyday enemies because they are, number 1, very expensive. Number 2, complete overkill. So don't worry about that. But that's the pumpkin, as I call it, branch, I guess is what you want to call it. So now that we've got the first of the 2 gems, we can go ahead and go towards the asylum, which is going to be our next area we go to. And that's going to be followed up in a minute. So we can go all the way past Scarecrow Fields to the Sleeping Village. So I'll see ya in the next one.